The universe didn't end with a scream. It ended with a whisper, a heartbeat, a single name. Jean Grey. A name once tied to hope. A name once tied to rebirth. A name that would soon become the greatest cosmic terror ever unleashed. Before we dive in, if you love bold Marvel what-ifs, make sure you subscribe. Because this one twists everything you know. Imagine the Phoenix Force trembling. Yes, the Phoenix. A cosmic god that fears nothing. Except the moment Jean Grey made a choice no mortal, no mutant, no god should ever make. The choice to survive at any cost. And that's where our story begins. Jean Grey is falling through the astral void. Lost. Burning. Her mind screaming as the Phoenix Force tears her apart from the inside. She has fought this entity 1,000 times. She has died because of it. Returned because of it. But this time, something is different. The Phoenix isn't trying to destroy her. It's escaping her. Because something older, something darker, something impossible, is reaching for her soul. Across the void, a shadow opens its eyes. Red. Burning. Eternal. Those eyes have witnessed the death of gods, the collapse of galaxies, the slow decay of hope itself. These are the eyes of Darkseid. But not the Darkseid you know. Not the ruler of Apokolips who once sought the anti-life equation. His body shattered in a multiversal war. His essence drifting like ash across the branches of infinite realities. Searching, hunting, needing a vessel strong enough to contain pure domination. A vessel powerful enough to reshape existence. A vessel born for destruction. A vessel named Jean Grey. Jean feels him before she sees him. A pressure. An intelligence. A hatred so pure it freezes the Phoenix flame around her. The Phoenix tries to pull away, but Jean grips it tight. She refuses to die again. She refuses to be abandoned again. She holds the flame with both hands. Darkseid reaches with one, and everything explodes. Time slows, then stops, then reverses, then folds. Jean sees every possible future, every timeline where she dies, every reality where she becomes Dark Phoenix, every universe where she destroys worlds and fire. And then she sees the one future she was never meant to witness. A universe where she survives by becoming something else entirely. Something more terrifying than Phoenix. More powerful than a god. More absolute than Darkseid himself. She becomes the bridge. The fusion. She becomes the Dark Phoenix god. Jean screams as a second consciousness slams into her mind. A titan. A tyrant. A god who speaks in concepts, not words. Dominion. Control. Inevitable. His presence crushes her. Every memory melts. Every emotion turns to dust. But Jean Grey is not weak. Jean Grey is not prey. Jean Grey is not a vessel. She is a telepath of impossible scale. A psychic forged in pain. A soul tempered by cosmic fire. She pushes back. The void shatters. Stars flicker out. Black holes collapse in reverse. Reality glitches like a broken panel. Jean floats in the center of it all, half on fire, half in shadow. The Phoenix flame roars to one side. Darkseid's Omega aura burns on the other. A cosmic tug-of-war begins. Jean feels her thoughts splitting, her voice echoing in two tones. One fiery, one cruel. She realizes the truth. This isn't just a fight for her soul. This is a fight for what she becomes. Let's slow it down, because this moment is the hinge point of the entire universe. Phoenix whispers, rebirth. Darkseid growls, domination. Jean breathes, choice. She reaches deeper than she ever has. Deeper than Xavier ever taught her. Deeper than Phoenix ever wanted her to go. And she finds something buried. A spark. A voice. Her voice. The girl from Westchester. The mutant who saw beauty in every mind she touched. The woman who chose compassion over power. She grabs that spark and pulls. Her eyes open. They burn with Phoenix fire. And glow with Omega energy. At the same time, the void buckles. Jean feels both forces crack like glass. She feels Darkseid push harder, trying to consume her. Trying to override her identity. Trying to turn her into a perfect weapon. He shows her visions. Her friends falling before her. The X-Men begging. The universe kneeling. She sees it all. She feels the temptation. The hunger. the peace that comes from absolute order. But then she hears another sound. A single voice. Soft. Warm. Human. Scott. Not speaking. Not calling her name. Just existing in her memory. She holds on to that. That anchor. That humanity. And she does the impossible. She pulls Darkseid inside the Phoenix. A shockwave tears through the multiverse. Reality screams. Galaxies spin out of orbit. Dimensions flicker. Jean's body reforms, but it isn't the same. Her hair burns like an eternal flame. Her suit forms as molten metal and cosmic stone. Her aura twists into a phoenix wing on one side and an omega sigil on the other. She is both creation and destruction, compassion and tyranny, rebirth and domination. She is Jean Darkseid, a new god, born from fire, forged in shadow, bound to nothing. Not a ruler of Apokolips, not a host of the Phoenix, something beyond both. Jean opens her eyes and the omega beams flare, but they don't shoot. They wait, because she isn't Darkseid. She isn't the Phoenix. She is the first being in existence with the power to choose what these forces mean. And the first thing she chooses? To return to Earth. Because before she becomes a god, she wants to look her friends in the eyes. One last time. But here's the twist. The universe won't let her. Because her transformation has consequences. Consequences that ripple across every corner of existence. The new gods feel it. The celestials feel it. The living tribunal feels it. And in the shadows of the anti-multiverse, something awakens. Something that fears only one being. The being Jean is about to become. Jean Grey arrives in orbit above Earth. But not as the woman the world remembers. Not as the mutant. Not as the X-Man. Not even as the Phoenix. She arrives as something new. Something the universe had no name for. Something that makes even space itself bend away in fear. Her presence doesn't trigger alarms. Her presence is the alarm. The stars flicker. Birds across the planet freeze mid-flight. Deep in Wakanda, vibranium begins to hum like morning metal. And in the watchtower above Earth, superheroes look up. Not with awe. With dread. Jean hovers there in silence. No breathing. No heartbeat. Just a cosmic stillness that feels like the pause before a war. Her eyes glow with twin forces that should never meet. Phoenix fire and Omega sanction. One whispers life. One whispers annihilation. Inside her mind, two voices pulse like war drums. Rebirth. Control. But above it all, her voice tries to speak. And she whispers a single word. Home. Down below, the X-Men gather at the mansion ruins. The place where Jean lived. The place where Jean died. The place where Jean loved. Cyclops stares into the sky, visor shaking. Not from fear. From hope. From the impossible dream that the woman he loved somehow survived everything. Then she lands. Not gently. Not violently. Just inevitably. Like gravity learned her name. The ground cracks under her feet. The air warps. The grass near her boots burns on one side and petrifies on the other. Two energies spiral around her like cosmic wings. Crimson. Black. Scott steps forward. Jean. The word fractures. Breaks. Falls apart. Because the woman standing before him isn't Jean Grey. But she isn't Darkseid either. She's something caught painfully in between. Something trying to remember what it was like to be human. Jean tilts her head. Her Omega eye narrows. Her Phoenix eye softens. And she speaks. Not with rage. Not with fire. But with a trembling, broken honesty. I don't know who I am anymore. That confession sends shockwaves through more than emotions. It shakes reality. Because identity is power. And Jean currently holds the kind of power that rewrites physics when she doubts herself. Mountains quiver. Clouds reshape. Time bends like a loose thread. The X-Men instinctively step back. All but one. Professor X. He wheels forward, mind reaching out. Not to contain her. Not to control her. But to understand her. Jean, let me in. She hesitates. Her flames flicker. Her aura trembles. And for a moment, for one impossible moment, she lets him. Charles Xavier enters her mind. And instantly regrets it. He stands inside a storm of gods. Phoenix fire roars overhead, burning through memories like paper. Omega beams slice across the psychic plane, carving reality into pieces. Shadows of Darkseids will march like titans. But in the center, a small version of Jean sits curled, knees to her chest. Human. Fragile. Terrified. Whispering, "I can't hold them apart." Charles kneels. His hand trembles as he reaches for hers. "Jean, you don't have to." She looks up. Phoenix fire reflects in one eye. Omega darkness in the other. "If I stop holding them, what happens?" Charles swallows. Everything inside him screams the truth. The universe ends. He doesn't answer. Because something else answers for him. A thunderclap tears across the psychic void. The sky splits. Space rips open. And an army steps through. Not demons. Not parademons. Not anything from Apokolips. These are new gods. Warriors of New Genesis. Led by Orion, son of Darkseid. He points his Astro Force cannon at Jean's soul and shouts, "Abomination! You carry my father's essence. By the laws of the fourth world, you must be destroyed." Jean's control breaks. Reality shakes. She screams, not in pain, in fear. And when fear hits her cosmic powers, the universe blinks. Outside, in the real world, Jean's body erupts. Flames burst skyward. Omega lightning arcs across continents. Birds fall from the sky. Oceans ripple like boiling water. Orion appears in the physical world, cannon charged. Cyclops stands between him and Jean. "Over my dead body." Orion replies, "That can be arranged." He fires. A beam brighter than a newborn star races toward Jean, and she moves without thinking. Her hand lifts. Her fingers open, and she catches the blast. Catches it, like it's rain, and crushes it into nothing. The world goes silent. Orion staggers back, stunned. Cyclops looks at her, not with fear. With heartbreak. Because he realizes something. She didn't block the attack. She didn't shield herself. She didn't fight. She reacted like a god. Instinctively. Effortlessly. Inevitably. Jean rises into the air, energy spiraling around her in a vortex of divinity. Her voice echoes with two tones, layered and thunderous. "I don't want this." Her flames roar. "I didn't ask for this." Her Omega aura crackles. "I don't want to be a god." Orion fires again. She doesn't even turn. She snaps her fingers. Space in front of Orion folds like paper. His attack redirects. It shoots upward and slices open the sky itself. Jean trembles, her eyes burning. She whispers, "I want to be me." But the universe doesn't care. The universe trembles. Because Jean Grey is no longer a person. She is the cosmic center of a war between two powers that were never meant to merge. And both of those powers begin demanding control. The Phoenix rages, "Burn the infection." Darkseid's echo growls, "Rule the weak." Jean screams. Both forces explode outward. The earth shakes. The moon cracks. Satellites vaporize. And in the shadows of the anti-multiverse, a massive shape stirs. A being born of nightmares. A being older than Darkseid. A being who feeds on collapsed timelines. He opens a single, monstrous eye. A voice like broken planets whispers, "At last, a worthy host." Jean doesn't hear him yet. But she will. Because becoming a god was never the end. It was only the beginning.